Hello my friends and welcome to another Division 2 build video. In this one, I got you with something amazing. I've been making so many solo builds and I got more coming by the way, but today we'll look at my favorite highest DPS build for when I'm playing with a team. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button and destroy that notification bell so you never ever miss a video. I also stream on Twitch most days, where I use all of my builds extensively so they can be the best they can be for YouTube. If you want to be a part of the creative process or need any help with tips and tricks or builds or anything like it, or you just want to see the chaos and madness that unfolds, come and check me out on Twitch. Link will be down in the description. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into today's build video. This build is the DPS of the group, the long range DPS. You know, the one who cracks all the skulls and racks up all the kills. Yes, that's the one. If you have a good team composition, such as a healer, a tank, maybe another DPS or a skill player, oh my, you will destroy the whole server together. Also, I should mention that you could play this build solo, but in team with people who can support you and protect you and give you the opportunity to shoot, it really shines. Alright, what is this build? It is the perfect crit-based spotter build with vigilance. Let me get into each piece and explain to you what is what and why it's there. Firstly, let me talk about the armor. I myself am comfortable with 3 reds and 3 blues, which puts me at 1.3 million armor. Now, if you position yourself well in fights and you're feeling confident, you could drop 1 blue and play 1.1 million armor. That's totally fine. To me, however, 1.3 is perfect balance between damage and not being a walking one-shot corpse. Remember, if you die as one of 2 primary damage dealers in your squad, it's pretty much GG for the rest of your squad. If you got a hungry server on your tail, you need to be slightly tankier so you can survive. And make it easier on your healer to heal you, you should probably consider that. Alright, let's look at the individual pieces and I will explain stuff as I go. So make sure you watch to the very end. We have a lot of key factors, important things that you have to have in the build. Alright, for our mask, we are running the best DPS exotic in the game when it comes to teamwork or team play, the Coyote mask. It has the talent Pack Instincts, which reads, you and all your allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. 0 to 50 meters, 25% crit damage, 15 to 25 meters, 10% crit chance, 10% crit damage, 25 plus meters, you get plus 25 crit chance. I mean, that is just amazing. I'm buffing my whole team with crit. If we have another DPS player, he gets insane buffs because of me. And I'm buffing myself too. Generally speaking, you want to play this build in the middle range of Coyote, which is 15 to 25 meters. You were playing the AR, we're playing the spotter. Closer, and you risk getting put on status, which pretty much equals death. Or you get mortared, which also pretty much equals death. Or you get burst SMG'd, or one-tap shotgunned, etc, etc, etc. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Don't be too close with this build or you will get melted. I'm not saying you can't be close, but you risk your life and your whole team's life if you play too close. The other DPS player, and by the way, I've got another build coming, which I'm still busy optimizing, right? That is going to be the close range DPS guy. I'm going to show you. But let's finish this one first. The moment you play a little further back, all of a sudden you outrange SMGs, shotguns, and you can avoid all the mortars since they travel very far to get to you and they're very extremely slow. The same goes for the foam. The moment you get foamed, by the time that guy with his shotgun or SMG or whatever the case is gonna close the gap to you so they can kill you while you're on foam, you've already long time broken out of the foam and you're busy killing him while he's trying to close the gap. Okay. Everything that is unbalanced in this game, with the exception of a one-tap sniper, you can outplay with range. So make sure you don't play this like an SMG build, as it is not. You need your team to create space for you, so you can focus on taking care of business, which is beaming heads across the map. So yeah, more often than not, I give my other DPS teammate 10% crit chance and 10% crit damage, free stats. And if they're playing SMG, for example, and slap the Coyote Mask on as well, they would give me 25% crit damage, which would be insane. The Coyote buffs, by the way, do stack, so long as it's not two of the same. Alright, so this about covers the mask. If you want an alternative to the Coyote Mask, I got you covered too. Stick around to the end of the video where I show you how I would run the build without a Coyote Mask. As for our gloves and knee pads, we're running the Old Faithful Contractor gloves and Fox Prayers. They're the two pieces which are present in nearly pretty much every DPS build. They are best in slot, and you'll always hear me refer to them as best in slot, BIS, or anything of the sort. If you're new to the game, those two should be the first two pieces you go and grind out, as you'll be using them pretty much for every single build. Contractor gloves are the named Petrov Defense Group gloves, and they come with 10% LMG damage, which we don't care about. We don't use an LMG. But then they have 170k armor, 12% crit damage, and 8% damage to armor. The 8% damage to armor is multiplicative, so that is why we like it so much. That is the reason we run those gloves. Even though the brand set is not needed for us, that 8% damage to armor makes up for everything. Okay, the Fox Prayers are the named Overlord armaments knee pads, and they come with 10% rifle damage. Again, we don't care about that. They also come with 170k armor, 12% crit damage, and 8% damage to targets out of cover. Again, the 8% damage to target out of cover is multiplicative, so that is what we want here. Once again, that is the best in slot. For our holster, we have a Grupo Sombra holster with 170k armor, 6% crit chance, and 12% crit damage. And the brand bonus gives us an additional 15% crit damage for just having that one piece. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, for our chest piece, we are running a Cheska Vairoba chest with 15% weapon damage, 6% crit chance, and 12% crit damage, and a 12% crit damage mod. We also get 10% crit chance as our brand bonus. It is an extremely strong one piece right here. 10% is a lot, and we need it because we're playing AR, and we don't have the inherent crit that an SMG would have, right? Our talent of choice is Spotter. Oh boy, how good is Spotter for DPS? It amplifies your total weapon and skill damage by 15% to past enemies. Amplifies means, once again, it's multiplicative. We love multiplicative. So Spotter, let me tell you everything Spotter does for you. Half the time even, the weather in the dark zone is bad. It's dark, foggy, sandstorm. It is terrible. Anything can happen in the dark zone. When you pulse enemies with our spec attachment, which I'll explain later on in the build, you spot them and your whole squad sees them as well. And you do 15% multiplicative damage to them. It is literally like having wall hacks on your chest piece. It is ridiculous. It is such a strong DPS talent on the chest. It is incredible, my friends. Alright, let's talk about the backpack. We have a Fenris backpack with 15% weapon damage, 6% crit chance, 12% crit damage, and 12% crit damage mod. Of course, we love the 10% assault rifle damage from Fenris as the brand bonus. That is just amazing. Okay, we're using an AR, so it's pretty much a no-brainer, right? Then, the talent of choice for this build is Vigilance. Vigilance increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. Okay, so this talent is additive, but 25% is still huge. The big drawback, however, is that upon taking damage, any damage, you lose your backpack talent. And that is a pretty big deal. However, if you just wait the 4 seconds out and you play around your decoy, you really won't care so much about it. I wouldn't recommend alternatives. Vigilance is best in slot for this build. Let me show you the stats of the build. We are rocking 49% crit chance and 173 crit damage. Now remember, the Coyote Mask buff is not taken into account for the stats sheet, so do not panic. If we're fighting in that 15 to 25 meter range that I mentioned, you will get 10% crit chance and 10% crit damage, putting you at a comfortable 59% crit chance and 183% crit damage. The damage of this build is absolutely insane. Let me talk about the specialization of choice, as this time we can only run one spec, and that spec is the Technician spec. You cannot run this build with any other spec for one reason. The mod that we get from the tech specialization, the linked laser pointer. Technician laser pointer that pulses targets at which it's aimed. Under barrel attachment for long rails. It pulses the targets, my friends. That makes it that we don't have to proc spotter with a pulse. We can proc spotter by just aiming at our target. You aim at the target, they mark for your whole team, for yourself, you see them through the walls for a short while, and you're doing 15% multiplicative damage to them. It is unmatched. The synergy between Technician and Spotter is unbelievable. And I really had to stress this, and I really have to explain this to you guys. It is absolutely amazing. Also, the spec gives us +1 skill tier, making our shield a bit tankier and making our decoy last a little longer. It is very, very nice. What about the weapons, you ask? Well, as our primary, we'll be using the Carbine 7 Assault Rifle with 15% Assault Rifle damage, 21% health damage, and 10% damage to target out of cover. And the talent In Sync, which we can proc by pulling our shield out or putting our decoy down, giving us 30% additive weapon damage for 5 seconds. Pretty insane, huh? Let me show you the mods of the weapon, as this time they're pretty important. We have the 5% crit hit damage, a Russian red dot sight. We have the +20 magazine, sturdy extended 5.56 mag. And we have the 5% crit chance from the muzzle 5.56 break. And we have, like I mentioned, the linked laser pointer, which spots people for our spotter. Okay, don't forget to slot that, please, or you'll not be able to proc your spotter and the whole build literally won't work anymore. It is very, very crucial, guys. My friends, Corrupting Cryptonomus have been selling me the Carbine 7 for so long, and I can see why. It is an absolute laser beam. However, if you don't like it or you don't have a good one and you want an alternative, don't worry, I got you. The good old FAL right here is just as good an alternative. It has a smaller clip, however, so at range some tankier targets might get away from you, but for the most part it hits so hard, it hits almost like an AK, it fires quicker than an AK, it's way more accurate than an AK, and it's just an amazing, amazing, amazing weapon. So that's a really good alternative. And if you want another alternative, the AK works as well, although I don't really like it because it has terrible recoil, but if you want, you can use that as well. Just again, remember to put on your laser pointer. Another really good alternative will be the Police M4. It also has the long rail. You can add the linked laser pointer. You can pretty much try every single gun that has the long underbarrel, so you can slot the linked laser and try for yourself. But I gotta tell you, those are the best in my opinion. I would say Carbine 7, FAL, Police M4. Those are your top 3 options, and then going down the list, AK and so on and so forth, right? But for example, the FAMAS unfortunately cannot slot that. It's got the small rail. It cannot slot that link, so we can't use the FAMAS. The SIG 556, great gun. Unfortunately, you also cannot slot the linked laser pointer on it. So there's something to consider. You can't just run any gun. It has to be one of the above mentioned ones. I really am liking Carbine 7. I never got a good one. Unfortunately, it always comes with the same talent called Overflowing. And yeah, for you to replace the talent, then you gotta get the 3 core, like you gotta get a decent AR damage, decent health damage, and then damage target out of cover. So your options are very, very limited in a way, right? But you know, with the new addition to the optimization station, you can definitely optimize. Like in my case, I had a very subpar or like middle road Carbine 7, and I spent a lot of resources, but I optimized it. And you can do the same, and then you can roll the talent of choice. As always, for me, like I always say, it's In Sync. You can do any other talent that you like. It doesn't have to be In Sync, but in my opinion, In Sync is one of, if not the best PvP damage talent right now. Okay, so enough about the weapons. I think you guys get the point. Our second weapon is the Nemesis Sniper. It's such an amazing gun. This you can charge it up, pop some heads. I one shot pretty much, if I crit on them, even the tankiest players, I hit for like, I don't know, 2.5 million damage. So with a full charge of the Nemesis and a headshot, how in my opinion, by the way, that's how you're supposed to play snipers. You shouldn't be body shotting people with a sniper. It should be that amazing, good feeling, one tap in the head sniper or snipe shot, and the Nemesis just gives you that. I'm not very good at it. I'm still learning myself, but it's something that's so good. You can stop anyone in their tracks, one clean headshot with a full charge Nemesis, and they're back in checkpoint, right? It's absolutely amazing. All right, let's talk about the skills. Our Q skill is a decoy. The Q skill I always say I can change. There's a lot of things you can run here. But the thing about the decoy is, in my opinion, best in slot for this build. And I almost always have it unless I have to disrupt skills on the ground, or if I need to use spotter pulse myself to spot other people who are playing on decoy, right? You gotta adapt to what the fight is. You gotta adapt to your surroundings. If a lot of people are fighting with decoys and they're trying to flank you with glass cannon and so on, you really want to make sure that you're running spotter pulse so you can catch them out and expect them, so you can just beam them as they're coming in behind you, right? But if you just want to be aggressive, or you want to just flank people, change position, outplay in so many ways, the decoy gives you so much outplay potential. You can bamboozle so many people. It is absolutely amazing. I cannot stress enough how many times I go around the corner, put down a decoy, reposition, and then enemy guy is chasing me, he peeks, and he's looking at my decoy. And all you need is that 1 second that he's not shooting at you and he's looking at your decoy, and you just open up and you send him back to checkpoint. It is so beautiful. It works so nicely. And I will always, always, always recommend the decoy, because it also works so well with a vigilance backpack talent, so that you don't take damage, you don't lose your talent. You have everything up and running. You're so strong. And the enemy guy is looking at your bold decoy like, oh no, you know, he realizes, oh shit, that's not him. By the time he realizes, he's dead. Okay. I'm excited, but yes, it's really good, guys. Alright. You can also pre-charge Nemesis, by the way, on decoy. You throw your decoy down, pre-charge Nemesis, and peek, shoot. They won't even know what hit them. By the time they realize what's happening, they're already dead, they're already respawning, right? That is the purpose of this build. You can blitz attack people with this. You can outplay people before they even know that there's a fight to begin with, right? It is absolutely amazing. Our Eskill, however, does not change pretty much ever at this point. And it's the beloved Crusader Shield. I'm kidding. We all hate it. But it protects your body from body shot gamers. It gives you a layer of survivability, so to speak. And it also seamlessly procs your weapon in sync talent. Unfortunately, it is best in slot in the current meta in Division, for both PC, console, anywhere. So you should be using it, as everyone you face would be pretty much using it too. So yeah, it's up to you guys whether you want to run it or not. I know a lot of people frown upon the shields, but unfortunately, the shield is a clear winner at the moment. I'll be very happy if they nerf the shields or make them not as good as they are now, so we can all stop running the bloody things. But in the current state of the game, a shield is just amazing. It gives you damage, it gives you survivability, it gives you everything. So guys, use the shields. Or don't use them. It's up to you. Okay, so I told you in the beginning of the video that I will be giving you an alternative to the Coyote Mask. Here it goes. You can craft yourself one-piece improvised holster with an extra crit chance mod to get yourself closer to that crit cap chance of 60. I know it's not maxed out, but I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. A lot of things to max out, a lot of things to optimize. In my opinion, the Coyote version is better, but if you don't want to run the Coyote version, this is your other option. Also, you can change the weapon scope from crit damage to crit chance. And then you would need to use a Grupo Sombra mask because it was in the holster for the Coyote, right? So we do the switcheroo here. And this we'll put the stats at 57.7. When I max out, you get it, it's going to be very close to crit cap. We have 165.6% crit damage, and of course the same multiplicative stats that I mentioned earlier. Right. This is, in my opinion, a worse version of the Coyote build, but you can do it as well, right? In team scenario as well, I feel the Coyote Mask is just way more superior because, again, you're buffing your whole team. You don't give that buff only to yourself, but to your whole team. So if you have more people that are doing DPS, they're all of a sudden all doing more DPS, right? So this is the more selfish version, the more solo version, if you will. Also, what you could do is you could run another blue to 1.5 million if you're going to run it solo, just so you know the walking one shot, guys. People doing a lot of damage now with optimized builds, and I feel like, you know, if you're not careful, 1.3 million armor, you'll find yourself on the floor quite a bit. But I mean, that's just how I feel anyway, right? It's up to you guys how you run it. Like I said, you can change the build to your standard and how you like to play, to your style of play. But yeah, I strongly recommend the Coyote version. But if you want to do this, you're welcome to do this as well. All right, so this was a lot of explaining, but the build is so good, I wanted to do it justice. It is, at the moment, my absolute go-to build for doing damage. When I'm the guy that needs to get the kills, I'm the guy that needs to put the people down. This is the build that I use. I really, really, really hope you guys like it. Remember to like, subscribe, and tactical nuke that bell, yo. And also, let me know how you like it in the comments. I want to hear how you feel. Are you going to make it? Are you not going to make it? Why? Explain to me, guys. Let's get a conversation going. I really want to know how you feel about this. And yeah, that's me, guys. I will see you in the next video. Godlike out.